What up, what up, what up? This is your boy Sham Phoenix. You're now tuned into the Stitch Sham Show.
Yes.
And I'm chilling with my other half, my partner.
Stitch Early. What's up, y'all?
And today is episode 32. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to do something new today. As you know, me and Stitch are getting older.
Yeah, man.
So we got to watch our figures. I don't know if you've ever seen us in public, but we look like two linemen.
For sure. Exactly.
From the NFL.
We used to go to shows and people be
like, "Dang,
oh, so y'all the ones performing. Y'all not protecting the performance."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all look smaller on the poster.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Like, yeah, so today, my man Stitch has prepared some jackfruit in the form of pulled chicken.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, nah. So we've been talking about like the different stuff that we've been doing, like changing our diets and things like that. So the other day, I was telling him, I was like, man, I had a Beyond Burger.
Yeah.
My wife and me, and I was like, yo, the joint was actually banging. Like
I
didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I had it, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you have something one time and then you have it again, you'd be like, nah, it wasn't. Maybe it was the cook.
Yeah.
You know, and then so I had it a couple times. I was like, man, this is good. So we had started talking about tofu.
Yeah.
That's how
we got it. Yeah.
We started talking about tofu. Like, I've never really had tofu, but my mom, so she made curry chicken one time.
Yeah.
But she substituted the chicken for like tofu.
Yeah, and you said you didn't you knew
the texture was different,
but you didn't really know.
but the flavor was there. So it's like, for me, if the flavor is hitting, I'm good.
Okay.
So while this joint is hot, so like we started talking, so
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I was at the store, I saw this like pulled chicken, but it's like jackfruit.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'm gonna just cop it. And then I was like, I'll tell Sham and we'll just eat that joint on the show. So y'all could get like the first reaction.
So for all the people that's like asking themselves, like, should I buy jackfruit?
Yeah.
You'll know after today. Now, we made it comparable to a meal that we would normally eat.
Yeah.
Right? So we got some fries.
Nathan's fries out
You know
here.
what I'm saying? We got this brioche bun.
You know, the sweet Hawaiian roll
You know?
bun.
And then on top of that, you got the jackfruit, the chicken. All right? So
I don't know why I'm nervous.
I don't know why I'm nervous
Because
either.
I'm like...
Because
I know, and I think it's the thing of like, it's different when somebody hands you something.
I'm going to eat a fry first just to get my...
I'm going to just go in.
Get my palate right.
I'm going to just go in.
All right,
And it smells good.
It do. It smells delicious.
It's different. It's not bad.
No, it ain't bad at all.
It's different. It definitely is, because it has like...
It reminds me of cabbage.
I can see that. The consistency is different.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make me not want it.
No, it don't.
But then there's the other part of me. It's
this
like,
piece that's not connected to bread.
do I want another piece?
I just want to see where I'm going with it.
Fries, on the other hand,
Fries is hit.
always. Can't go wrong with the Nathan's joints.
Yeah, kill it. Let's see.
You just had your loose piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna just taste it without the bread. It's not bad.
It's not. It's not as close to chicken as I thought it would be.
But I could. But if I was to substitute this
If
for
you was to
chicken, like in a
substitute it for
taco and a burrito, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't be mad at it.
It would definitely be something that you would have to like, I think, because I'm big on flavors.
Yeah.
So it could be the flavor too.
Yeah.
Because it's not so much the consistency.
No, the consistency is fine.
Yeah, consistency is fine. And I
feel
guess
like you would have
in
to-
your head when you know what you eating jackfruit. Now,
You
I
might
know
have
it's
to
called
over season.
Yeah, like I know it's called jackfruit, and I don't know if that's this is a stupid question. I don't know if that's a fruit
Or if it's a vegetable.
or if that's just what they call it. If it's just called jackfruit.
Yeah. I don't
Or
know. It's
jackfruit
not
is-
bad though. It's
But
not
yeah.
bad on this
But
sandwich.
I'm not
I don't even feel bad about eating in front of y'all right now.
mad at it though.
I'm really not.
No. Put this to the side. But yeah, if y'all
It's not bad.
thinking about substituting something out, so now y'all know jackfruit. They sell at the store.
That's
most
all
of the
right.
time
I can deal with that.
in the organic section.
Yeah, it's
know?
not. It's really not bad.
But I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm not.
But I'd have definitely spit it out on this. I'm not spit that joint right out.
It's like, oh, snap.
Like, that ain't for me.
You know what?
Yeah, it's definitely like
I can do it.
With that one, it's about the seasoning.
Yeah. Like
Because the consistency is not crazy.
You know, like if you over season chicken, because chicken kind of comes and has a flavor.
It has some flavor to it, yeah.
If you over season it, you could be like, man, I don't even want to eat.
Like
this.
some things like
But that I feel like you would just over season.
Yeah. Whereas like with the Beyond Burger, hey, that joint was we seasoned a little bit, threw some cheese on it. That joint didn't really need much. But yeah, that joint, I got 2 of them joints upstairs. So that was our experience with jackfruit.
With jackfruit, that wasn't bad, man.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I tried that.
But definitely just trying to, as we getting older,
Yeah, you wanted to
substituting
diversify your
certain
palate.
things, exactly, diversifying your palate, and,
You know what I mean?
and also just making sure that your body is still functioning how you want it to function.
Yeah.
As you continue to age in this thing called life.
Yeah, because I really like, to be honest with you, I don't really eat great.
Mm-hmm.
I eat okay, not great.
So is it more what you're eating or how you're eating? Because like I noticed that there's like a difference.
It all depends on what day it is.
Okay.
So like, there's times where I could go a weekend. Like, I think like 2 weeks ago, like for a week, I had salads every day for lunch.
Yeah.
A lot of water. Wasn't doing too. And then like the next week, I could be like, you know what? I'm going to Five Guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a strawberry lemonade from Wendy's. And like, there's no real consistency with my diet.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then there's weeks where I won't eat at all.
Okay.
Like, I'll miss breakfast, I'll miss lunch.
That, yeah.
And then like for dinner, I'll be like, I'll heat up 3 chicken strips.
Got you.
Bust them down real quick, and then I'm good. So
that's
the thing that I think kind of hurts me is that I need to get on a more consistent regimen concerning my diet.
Yeah. For me, it's I don't think it's so much what I eat, it's how I eat. Like, I'm definitely the person that, like, I'll eat a plate and be like, that joint was good.
Let me just go ahead and get
I'm
another
just go
one.
ahead and get another.
Hey, man.
Like,
But they say that's not necessarily a bad thing.
And I think it does depend on what you're eating also.
What you're eating.
But it's like, nah, like, spaghetti, like, all,
crushing it all.
smashing. And then I have to have bread, that's probably another.
That's my problem.
No matter what meal it's with,
You need a biscuit.
a biscuit with some
Texas
butter, something
toast.
Texas toast, something.
I know.
A
I'm
piece
there,
of bread to sop up some stuff. You know what I mean? Like with
Yeah.
every joint. So I think things like that also kind of affect the weight gains. You know what I mean?
Like, do you remember those Weight Watcher commercials when Oprah was their ambassador?
Mm-hmm.
She would be like, "You can have bread," and I was and like in my mind
was like how?
because I was younger and those things weren't really affecting me like that. I was like, "You can't eat bread. Like, when did bread become
When did
something
bread
that
become
you,
bad?
that,
Like,
that you
yeah.
couldn't eat, right?" And I'm
Nah, I
like.
feel you.
And now, as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, now I know why.
Yeah.
because that's really my hardest thing to shake.
Mm-hmm.
Bread and
probably what is it? The grains like rice.
rice, pastas,
Yeah.
and ice cream. Those things
Okay.
right there are like.
So what's your ice cream of choice?
Butter pecan is my favorite.
Okay.
But not. I know it's gonna sound weird.
My granddad liked butter pecan.
I like butter pecan, but I don't like the pecans.
So you just eat the ice cream?
I just eat the butter, because I've never met anybody that's made butter ice cream.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not weird. Like, so for me, like my favorite ice cream is pistachio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat pistachios. Like like I'm not just gonna be sitting
You like
and
the
eating
flavor of the
pistachios.
ice cream.
But I'll eat the pistachio ice cream with the pistachios.
Okay.
But I don't eat pistachios just by themselves. Like I'm not just popping pistachios. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just sitting around just popping pistachios.
I'm trying to think if I ever had. I think I've had pistachios like by themselves. I've never had pistachio ice cream though.
That's like my favorite ice cream. So I didn't know that pistachios was like was like an actual nut.
Oh, like they came in a shell.
I didn't know that at one point
because
all
you
the
ever
only
eat
place
them,
the only place that made pistachio ice cream that I would eat it from was Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
But in Baskin Robbins pistachio ice cream, there's almonds.
Oh.
It's pistachio flavored ice cream with almonds. So it's not actual pistachios in it.
Got you.
So until I had one where it was actual pistachios, and I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, for me, like the dessert is like white chocolate macadamia cookies.
Oh man.
Is like
that's a good cookie.
That's like the
that's a high end cookie.
Son, and that is a high end problem for me.
Yeah.
like when I say like Food Lion, and Food Lion make them joints fresh.
You ever had Subway's one? The Subway one?
The Subway is good too. Yeah, Subway's joints is
I've never
good
I've never had the Food Lion.
Yeah, the Food Lion joints, especially, I'll go in that joint. And then Giant Eagles too.
Okay.
Like, and I'll be like, why y'all gotta have these? Like, why can y'all just not have these? And then I drink milk, so that none of these things is like.
I'm a milk drinker too, bro.
Yeah, and I'm at 2% now. So hey, I'm lowering it.
Yes. I don't do whole milk either. I do 2% or 1% every now and then, but it has to be a particular brand.
Okay,
like all these 1% and that tastes like all these 2%.
Okay.
So it don't bother me.
Matter,
it don't bother me.
And I've tried oat milk.
Yeah.
I've tried the other. It's just nah.
I want to try banana pancakes. I've seen someone make pancakes out of banana.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a big fan of banana, but
I'm not either.
But if I can curve the pancake,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I've also seen coconut flour and almond flour.
Yeah.
To make pancakes. Okay. So those are things that I've been thinking about.
Mm-hmm. And it's only like never at any point. I remember we were sitting the other day.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, the conversations that we have now.
Yeah.
As we are maturing.
Yes.
And I remember the conversations used to be about sneakers
and clothes
and watches and
rappers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And now the conversation is yo, you eating healthy?
Yeah. You tried something that's healthy?
Now talking about our kids.
I'm going to share it with you.
Those types of things.
Yeah. It's definitely different. I think for me, I am embracing getting older. You know, some people kind of
run from it.
And you know what I'm saying? They still put rhinestones
hold
in their jacket.
Nah, because remember we talked about this the other day. I call it the old youngin syndrome.
Yeah, old youngin syndrome.
Old youngin syndrome.
Now,
OYS.
Now, I still like to be slightly fashionable, but I'm more about comfort than I am about, for instance, last episode, I wore these black and gray Dunks.
Oh yeah, I seen them.
So I wore them.
And you've had them joints for a minute.
They were not comfortable anymore.
For a minute, yeah.
They were not comfortable, and I literally said when I got home, I was like, "I am never putting these on again." Today was the last time I will wear those shoes ever again, because I'm more in a space where I like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't care if you like it. I don't care if she like it. I don't care if he like it. As long as I'm comfortable, I'm cool with it.
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, and you we talked about so the number one person on my old youngin syndrome list, was R. Kelly.
He did have old
because
youngin.
R. Kelly was
the old
55, but he had the rhinestone hat with the big jeans.
You remember that performance before he went to jail on the BET Awards, and he had that short set.
Yeah. And you be like, come on, man! Somebody in your camp has to tell you how to dress appropriately.
Yeah,
and it's like you said, it's not a thing of that there is a way to dress old or anything like that.
But when you can see when someone's trying.
Yeah, you can see when it's just that just don't match.
We don't need that today.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. You of all people, shouldn't be wearing it.
We don't need that today.
Yeah, nah,
not today.
We don't need zippers. If my dad, if I went, or my dad showed up in my house, and my dad had some slim jeans on with zippers on them, I'm clowning. Yeah. I am clowning.
Yeah,
1000%.
It's just that, for me, you live your life, right? And you have the privilege of extension of life.
Yeah.
Right? So I know people who didn't make it to now where I am 36.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I value those type of things. Like even in the process of my life, I'm slowing down. I'm trying to compare to some. Okay, so for instance, someone JJ Redick was talking to Damian Lillard, and he was asking Damian Lillard, what's the difference between him as a player now and then him as a player when he first got in the league? And his first thing he said was, the game slowed down, and I understand all the lingo and the stuff that people are saying.
Got you.
So for me in my life, I feel like it's the same. The game is slowing down for me. I'm not moving at 100 miles per hour. I'm not turning the ball over a bunch of times. So you kind of,
there's more of an understanding, though, of
I understand
what's
who I'm playing with, where they are on the floor,
and what best fits
and
with
what
me.
best fits with what I'm doing.
Nah, I feel you.
And that's kind of like where I am. So when I say slow down, I'm saying that I'm starting to see things at a like matrix like pace. You know what I mean? Like I can slow things down or speed things up how it fits
to
me.
fit you. Yeah, nah, I feel you on that.
I think that's like one of the biggest things about like understanding where you are in life, because some people are moving so fast that they can't even see the deficiencies. Like, you probably shouldn't be doing that anymore. Like, you could hurt yourself.
And then I think too, realizing where you're at, and I think you also have to realize like where other people are at. Yeah. Also in the sense of that. So it's like for me, there's sometimes where like I can get comfortable just chilling. Yeah. Like outside of doing the stuff that I do, when I find a moment to just chill, I just be wanting to chill. And then, whereas my wife is like, she wants to go. Yeah. And so sometimes even me having to be like, all right, I got to prioritize when I'm going to go. Yeah. So that I get my chill. Yeah. you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think those things too, definitely like knowing where you're at in life. Yeah, most definitely. And I think that fits everything. I think that goes for like your mindset, how you dress. Yeah. Like I think all of those things factor in. It would be the same thing like if you saw, a 18-year-old and he just wore, suits all day. Yeah, you'd be like, all right. You don't want like no sneakers, no jeans, like no jeans, like you know what I mean. So it's like there's certain people that I see where I be like, you shouldn't have that on. Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, come on, we don't need that. Exactly. As a culture, I want everybody to point out the old youngin in their life. Yeah, just think about it. Just think about it. Who is the old youngin in my life? Like I always, how I gauge some of the things I wear, and even it's still a shaky bridge, is by my kids. If I come downstairs and my kids is like, and y'all look, like, what are you doing? Or y'all look the same? Yeah, they're like, what are you doing? They give me that face. Then I'll be like, nah, I probably should go yeah, I remember Jamie Foxx telling a story where he was like, he said, I was trying, he said the words, like, I was trying, dress young, and I came down and my daughter saw me and my daughter was like, nah, we're like, not gonna do that today. That ain't it. Yeah, like, that's okay. Now, my kids can be haters at times. Facts. So I'm not saying that their gauge is always, but there's a sincere look that when I come down, like there's been times where like we have a show and I come down like I got some like I'm not doing too much, but they be like, oh man, that looks nice. Yeah, that's what's up. Or like when I wore the lion flag tee, black joint. Yeah. Like when I came downstairs because I had the C hat on and that, and Nasir was like, oh, that's a real dope little jump you got there. So it's like, oh, I got props. Yeah, but if I come down, it could be the reverse. Like, where are you going? When they ask me that, like, what are you doing today? Why do you have that on? Why do you look like that? Yeah, then it'd be different. So my kids don't normally give me that. Yeah. One, because I wear a lot of Icon Nation, and like the brand makes stuff that fits. Nah, I feel you. Yeah. My personality. Nah, I got you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've never like worn something from Icon Nation and been like, I don't know if this really looks right on me. If this is gonna be, I've never said effective, that. Like, yeah. Every time I put it on, I'll be like, oh, I look sharp in this. Nah, definitely. You know what I mean? I agree. I feel the same way. Like anytime I put on Icon Nation, I'm not necessarily like, oh, I wonder if. Yeah. It's just like, nah, what I'm gonna wear this with. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. So And speaking of Icon Nation, since we're on it,
we
might as well go there. So we've been talking about for a while, doing some merch and things like that for UHRISE. So over the last, I would say like week or two, we actually been putting together a couple pieces that will be dropping on UHRISEmusic.com. That will have something outerwear, probably a tee and a hat. You know what I mean? And once we're finished designing everything, we'll put it up for y'all to be able to see it before we actually do it and make it live.
Yeah.
So
because the UHRISE merch will double as the UHRISE collective merch as well. So a lot of that was just kind of like some brand management ideas.
Exactly.
To keep things kind of simple. Like one thing about me and Stitch is that we don't try to overdo too much. I mean, it's not like we haven't. We have definitely been in a space where we were doing way too much.
So you got to realize we've known each other for going on 21 years.
Yep, 21 years.
21 years. No, going on 22 years.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
99. Yep.
So
yep,
going
right.
going on 22 years.
Yeah.
And so we've definitely hit moments of doing a lot.
You be like, you're just doing
We've
way
hit moments
too
of
much.
like, yo, you're doing the most, like the utmost. So I think through our different endeavors throughout the years, now we've found a place where we're more honed in.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was kind of like, let's throw some things at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Whereas now I think we've seen what stuck, and now we're like, nah, let's just focus on those things because we've seen. So it's just, now just kind of like opening the curtain and like letting y'all behind the curtain. It's like us just finding, ways in order to present something to the public, but that also brings, a revenue stream to us to be able to do a lot of the things that we do with the music, with, the pod, and other, just creative ideas that we have and that we want to do within the UHRISE bubble and the UHRISE collective. So it was like, yo, we wear Icon all the time. Like, yo, let's do a collab. You know what I mean? And it's nothing to do that, So we kind of started, brainstorming some ideas and came up with some like real dope stuff that we want to present to you all to, have something else that y'all can, rock to represent outside of just like, oh, I'm going to, go to the Patreon. It's like, oh man, I could support by, copping a tee, by copping a hat, by, spreading the word, and things like that. So, this is kind of like one of the things. And then just other stuff, that we have that will continue to roll out, on the show for y'all to be able to see.
Yeah, I think, like I said too, I think the stuff that we're into now is more organic. Like it's happening organically opposed to like when we were in our late 20s, mid 20s. Like I felt like we were forcing things.
We was just doing
like you were just like that looks like it might work. I'm going to try.
Let's do that, Joe. Like,
and then you'd be like, I lost $1,000 doing that, and I don't.
Son,
I can't walk away.
Like when
from
I
that.
say I've spent money and like not seen money back.
Yeah, brother.
Just from we've done. You have sometimes where you do that and it's a gamble, but it's a smart gamble, and it's like, yo, I'll take
and it
that.
works out.
I'll take that L.
Yes.
No, not a problem. But then it's those L's where you like, that probably wasn't even a good idea.
Yeah.
And I just like, but when you sometimes when you move off of what you see, and I'll see, even other like I'll see clothing brands where it'll be like, like Straight Outta Compton came out. So then it was everybody was making straight out of church, straight out of the house, straight out the car.
Straight out the iPhone.
You know what I'm saying? He was just like, so you just saw people putting money in. So like, imagine you put all that money into that thing and then it's not popping no more.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh man, I got all
seasonal.
I got all this stuff just chilling.
You got them seasonal.
Exactly.
Seasonal
ideas.
Seasonal
like,
endeavors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So it's like with us having the years of experience that we've had, gaining money, losing money, gaining ideas, losing ideas. Now we're at the point to where we're kind of like, all right, if we're gonna do it, let's do it, but then let's do it in a way to where we know exactly what we're doing and we're lining everything up, exactly. So when we were like, yo, let's do the episode for this week, we knew it would be a shorter one, but we wanted to kind of like come on and just kind of give y'all some insight into what's going on with us
and how we rolling,
you know, like health wise, life wise. And definitely just in the other ways that we're looking to, like I said, give you all product while also, you know, helping ourselves in it too. But getting y'all some dope stuff while we at it, might as well.
Yeah, like this is probably one of the best examples of the change of how we do things. So like our first album that we ever recorded, we recorded in one night. We did like basically 7-8 songs in a night. We now take a whole day to record a song. Yeah. We go through all the processes. We look at all of the, I'm talking about down to the changing of a word, like should we do or new? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, let's flip them.
Let's change it up. Like we
just did that the other day where we had the whole joint and it was like, yo, let's move that to there instead of that there. Oh, that do sound better. All right.
Where we'll rush through a whole joint and then listen to it later and be like, man, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would. Like trying to eliminate all of those the
pitfalls.
Not just the pitfalls, but it's the regrets.
Okay, got you. All right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you're saying.
Like when you know that you've combed through something solid and you've been solid with it and you've been, you know, very thoughtful and very.
Then there's less
intentional.
Like Black Gold, for instance.
I don't look back at it and be like, I wish I would have did this.
Like Black Gold just came out a few months ago, but it's
September
like,
4th.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't go back and listen to Black Gold and go, man, we could have did this different. We could have did this and we have some dope stuff coming with Black Gold too. Like,
yes.
We'll let y'all know.
Yeah, we'll let y'all know now.
And it might be a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, you know what? We will make it a Patreon exclusive.
Okay, yeah, it'll probably be a Patreon.
That'll be exclusive. A Patreon exclusive.
You heard it here first. But I don't listen back to that project and go, man, we could have did this, we could have did that, because like doing that project, we mapped it out and structured it out so well that we got exactly what we wanted to get out of every single track. Yeah. So then hearing it as a collective, there was no like, oh man, we should have did this, or we should have, you know. So I think even in what we're working on now, we're putting in that same mindset into it, to where it could be easy to just be like, yo, let's just rush through, but we're taking our time with it so that when you all get it, it's just as good to you as it is to us. Yep. You know, so,
and that's a hard thing to, because I've watched different interviews with different artists that I admire. Yeah. Like even with Q-Tip. I don't know. Have you ever seen Beats Around Your Life?
The documentary.
So Chris Lighty was saying, rest in peace, Chris Lighty. He was saying that when it came down to the Low End Theory, that he had to literally go and take the album from Q-Tip,
because it was still,
because Q-Tip was so dissatisfied with Extinctive Travels that he was real methodical about like intricate stuff, and it just took really long. And Chris Lighty was like, "Listen, just give me the album."
So like, so we could get it out.
Yes.
Like
So later on, they had an interview, and Q-Tip is like, you know, when I listen to my old music, all I ever think is I would have done this differently. I would have done that differently. And I've been there. You know what I'm saying?
Son, when
and
I
you
say
just be like,
where you go like, man, I
wish I would have
turned the vocals.
Yes.
Oh man, I should have said this that way.
Yeah.
Man, the beat should have dropped out right there. Like, yeah.
And I literally, after Black Gold, did not have that.
Exactly. And I think that's how I feel too, like going back to that. And I think it was a different process than we had done before, because before we would like record, and then we would come back, we would work on it. Whereas this time around, you know, with Black Gold, it was like, yo, we wrote the records. Now it's like, let's record the record, but within that day, we're going through the record. Yeah. Nah, that's not good on the intro. Let's change that. Nah, hey, maybe the beat should be like this on this part. Yo, maybe not that sample. Let's do another. You know what I mean? There was a lot of, we nitpicked every song individually, so that by the time we got to the whole, every song had already been like, you know, perfected to what we wanted, as far as what we wanted to hear. So by the time we got to the full body of work, it was like, oh, we're not having to go back on anything.
Yeah.
This is now it's just sequencing and I think even down to the sequencing, we sequenced the record before we recorded the record.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was already sequenced out. So it made it just an easier process.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying after we were in the studio yesterday. I was like, man, we really calculated everything.
Yeah.
We had the day before that we were in the studio again. We just kind of sat and made sure everything was mapped out. And then literally, I think it probably took us like an hour, 30 minutes. And that was only because we were taking our time to record the record that we recorded yesterday. So those are the things that I'm trying to explain, because I think we're in such the world is in such a place where everyone's like,
quick.
You got to be going. And even when it's slowed down, people are still trying to move at that pace.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, for me, COVID aided in that.
Yeah.
Just with a lot of things, like, you got to think, we were planning to drop the early morning stretch. At the beginning of the year.
At the top of the year.
You know what I'm saying? And COVID kind of halting everything, a lot of things, even made me step back and be like, man, I could easily throw this out there. Yeah. But nah, we've been talking about the UHRISE Collective. This, let's focus in on this then. Yeah. You know what I mean? And really focus in and hone on in. And like, if that doesn't happen, you don't get a Black Gold. You don't get this next record, we're working on. You don't get the Black Gold stuff that we're about to, release on Patreon. Yeah. So some of these things you don't get if we weren't able to kind of like slow down. Yeah. And start processing. And process it. Yeah. To where even now we kind of have if we choose to go with it, we have a mapped out like every other type of thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That we've talked about. Yeah. That because we have a process now, it would be it would move like a well-oiled machine. Yeah. So now the biggest thing with us is because we're independent. Yeah. It's how we monetize things without giving it away to others. And what I mean by that is by giving it away to platforms to just take it and do what they do with it, and then we see nothing from it. Yep. So that's one of the biggest reasons why on the pod we tell y'all about Patreon. We tell y'all about UHRISEmusic.com. It's because those are the places where we get to control what's going on, where we get to say, hey, here's the album. The album is free, or the album is this much. Hey, go over here and purchase some merch. Yeah. These are ways that, you all can support us and continue to help us to, push forward and continue to make dope content, Yeah.
And also, Black Gold and the next project will be up on all streaming platforms. Yep. But you can go to any streaming platform and type in the UHRISE Collective, and the Black Gold album will pop up.
Spotify, all of those. Apple, every joint.
So,
Tidal.
I think the biggest thing that we were just trying to communicate, especially with you guys who watch the show on a regular basis, is that we're making strides, and our connection with you is really important to making those strides.
For sure.
And helping us build so that we can, bring you guys great content and good music. Like I said, Icon Nation, the UHRISE collab, good material, good content. So that's the biggest thing for us right now, is that we're in a mode of setting the foundation for UHRISE Media, UHRISE Music. We're even kind of discussing some nonprofit stuff. Me and Stitch used to teach audio classes for teens. So those are things that we're all, shout out to New Spire Arts here in Frederick, Maryland. So these are all things that we're working on. And in order to do those things, it's going to take a collective and a group. And you guys are, our family and are part of that group. And, you know what I'm saying? And so those that are participants in the Patreon, our University fan, we thank y'all. And man, like I said, we got a lot of dope stuff coming.
Yeah. And then I know we do the videos, and a lot of y'all, for those who do watch the videos, I know sometimes it can kind of be hard to move through the day and watch a video. Yeah. So starting next week, you'll also be able to listen to the episodes on SoundCloud. Yep. So you'll be able to go on SoundCloud and listen to the episodes, and we are working to not only have it on SoundCloud, but then to also get it to the other streaming platforms that, make pods available, so that you'll actually be able to listen as well as watch.
Yeah. So
we kind of moved in the reverse.
Yeah, like right. So like video became just a lot quicker.
It did for us to be able to sit,
like boom,
put
boom,
it up.
Put it up.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, we thank y'all guys, man. We thank y'all guys for tuning in. This has been episode 32. I am Sham Phoenix.
I am Stitch Early,
and this has been the Stitch and Sham Show. We thank y'all. Peace.